Guys, we got an excellent episode for you right now. It is about the Barbary pirates, the First Barbary War, the birth of the U.S. Navy, and all the white slaves you've never heard of.
Oh, yeah, millions of them, baby. If you want whites to be enslaved, this is for you. It'll be cathartic. Come see me live, YannisPappasComedy.com, Providence, Tampa, Chicago, Miami, wherever else I'm going to be. Go to see my dates, HistoryHyenas.com.
That's it, baby. And me, ChristieComedy.com or HistoryHyenas.com. You could see me Montreal. You could see me Minneapolis. I'm going to be in Canada, Winnipeg, and we got a bunch of beautiful dates in August, Oklahoma, and then September 11th, theater at Madison Square Garden. Be there. This episode is going to knock your socks off. Buckle up. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of History Hyenas. It's Chrissy D and Yanni P. We have got a great episode for you, and here's why. If you are someone who you're like, I can't stand those two guys, they are sexist, they are racist, they do not make me laugh, well, then this is the episode for you, because we're going to talk to you about a little time in history, late 1700s, early 1800s, where there were white slaves.
A lot of them, millions and millions. And they were enslaved by the poor Muslims.
Yes, Muslims. Enslaving white people. We're going to take you back to the beginning of the U.S. Navy, to the shores of Tripoli, a.k.a. modern-day Libya. We're going to talk to you about Barbary, the Barbary Coast, pirates, and when the Ottoman Empire was just doing their thing that they're most famous for, and that's a jihad.
Yeah, there was no Johnny Depp cute pirates. This was not cute.
No, this was not cute. This was not the Pirates of the Caribbean. These were the pirates of Allah. Bubba's, now here's the thing about you. Here's the thing with you, Yanni, is we've been together, we've been sitting here for 2 hours, and I've seen you've gotten a tingle twice today.
I got
the
a
first
bad
tingle, I can't say even on Patreon. Why, you got a tingle.
Yeah.
But just know it has to do with feet. You got a tingle. So we saw one tingle off camera, but then we got to see a nice little tingle on camera because you said, I got a lot of pleasure out of doing the research for today because you do not like the Ottoman Empire.
I am not a fan of the Ottoman Empire.
You don't like them. Yeah.
For obvious reasons. I have to admit they were very successful.
Yeah.
They did and contributed a few things. Not really, but a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone just benefited from the Greeks.
Yeah.
We started it all. But they had a nice run.
Yeah.
And they were naughty.
They
were naughty.
Yeah.
They were a little naughty.
Yeah.
So I don't make the rules. I just play by them.
That's what it is.
We all have to deal with karma because God is an Indian kid,
Yeah.
and karma's a real thing.
That's what it is. And Karma's a Taylor Swift song.
It's a Taylor Swift song.
Karma is a bitch.
It's a bitch, and you know what it is. But in this case, karma is a thing called whoops. Things are bad now because you did a lot of slavery.
So here's the thing. First of all, here's a little fun fact, and I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to give you a moment at home to answer. Who has the longest standing peace treaty with the United States of America?
Would it be the Chinese?
No, it actually rhymes with my kako.
Oh my God, is it Morocco?
It's Morocco.
Yeah.
That's who has the longest standing peace treaty with the United States. And that's a Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and something that was interesting because what happened is we're going to take you back to, we're going to start we'll start a little backwards. We'll start around roughly the 19th century where the U.S. Navy comes into existence because we're going to take you back to the Barbary Coast. Now, what was the Barbary Coast?
They were fucking barbarians who were doing naughty shit.
It's what it is. They were barbarians on the sea.
They were barbarians in the sea, and
they were barbarians,
and they were enslaving seamen.
If you listen to the $25 episode we have at patreon.com/historyhyenas, you'll know that what we mean when we say they were barbarians.
Yeah. make sure you cackle what I said.
Yeah, and that's only available at patreon.com/historyhyenas at the $25 level, because at the $25 level, what we are doing there for $25 is doing the show that we used to do for free 5 years ago.
So let me set the setting here, okay? I'll set
it up!
Ottoman Empire, right? Long reign. A big part of their empire was slavery.
Yeah.
Forced conversions, slavery. The history books always just go, oh, I don't know what happened. I don't know. Albania is just a Muslim country now. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, by the way, I met an Albanian kid a week ago at the community pool of the new neighborhood I moved into.
Yeah.
And the Albanian said that he was a big fan. He liked our show, but he said, exact quote, he goes, tell your Greek friend that not all the Albanians are Muslims.
That is true.
Yeah, so he just wanted to make sure that you knew that, because he said make sure he knows that, because Albanians are crazy, and then his eye twitched.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And we admitted that when we did the Karaskakis.
Karaskakis.
Yeah, because there were some Albanians who were Christian who were also working with the Greeks and blah, 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 blah.
Talk to my dick.
Yeah, they're not all.
Yeah.
They're not, but a good amount.
Yeah,
they got a good amount.
So you tell him that, because I'm not doing it.
Well, he already knows it. They got a good amount. There's a good amount. But yeah, wherever the conversions happen,
okay.
I don't think they just went over there and asked nicely.
No.
I don't think it was asked nicely. And if you read history, it's not really a nice ask. It's more of like, hey, this is how it works now.
Yeah.
And you're Christian, we don't like that.
Yeah.
And we want you to be Muslim, and that's what it's going to be. You're going to be Muzzy now.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
So the Muzzies just said this is a Muzzy world, and it was a Muzzy world.
It's just what it is. It's
Which,
like,
don't get me wrong, comes with some amenities. I'm not knocking the whole thing. I like some of the amenities.
Yeah, it's nice.
But, so the Ottomans would constantly take slaves. They took a lot of slaves from Circassia, which is an area like, I don't know. They're like, the Russians hated them, but they're also Russian. Like, I don't know who they are.
Just one of those places.
Just one of these peoples.
Yeah.
But they liked them because they were good looking. So they would take a lot of the women there, and they would sell them in slave markets in, I'm just going to say Constantinople.
Right.
It's now called Istanbul.
Right.
And a lot of the Muslims and Arabs would take them as concubines into their harems.
Like currency almost.
It was sex slavery is what it was.
That's what it was.
It was sex slavery.
I'd like to enslave the entire city of Miami.
Yeah. Me
There's
too.
some hotties down there.
And you know what I like? This is what we tell you on this podcast. It really was a buffet for the table back then.
What it was.
Because much like the Greeks, the Romans, everybody, the Ottomans also took women eunuchs. And they liked the Africans for eunuchs.
Right.
They would cut the nuts out of the Africans for some reason.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder, because the penis is so big, you don't even need the nuts.
You don't even need the nuts, I think.
That's what it is.
So they were... So that's kind of what they did. And, yeah, I mean, that's...
So the Ottoman Empire, which here's the thing. Here's what, we've talked about this. Like you have to like break free of what, like, the United States wasn't always number one. Britain wasn't always number one. These countries were number one for a long time. But at this moment in time, the Ottoman Empire and the countries right now, the Barbary Coast of what is now modern day Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, which is modern day Libya, and Rabat, these were the primary Muslim North African countries, Ottoman subjects that had a lot of power. So they weren't like number one, but how like you wouldn't think of Libya as a power today? Back then they were. If you had to pay money to get your ships through, it was like paying a toll. It was like, if you don't pay the toll on the Easy Pass and the Verrazano, you're going to get a ticket. This is what it was with them, except the ticket back then was cutting your head off and then making you convert to Islam.
Yeah,
so I'd rather just pay the 17 bones to go across the Verrazano.
Yeah, it was brutal slavery. They captured you. They took you for ransom. They were pirates. Their primary economy in these places, which were kind of semi-autonomous, but they were
Yannis Sundowns.
Yeah, they were under Ottoman protection in those areas.
Right.
Was piracy. That's what they made their money. And they would just extort everybody. They would take slaves. They would sell sex slaves. They would take males for brutal galley slavery, which they would chain them to this. They would force them to row.
Right.
And so it was tons of different types of slavery.
And that's the thing. And this group, very specifically, the North African Barbary Coast, which we're going to do the whole episode on these Barbary pirates, is they were made up of Berbers, also known as Justin Berbers, Arabs, Ottoman Turks, and then renegade Europeans. And these were Christian converts to Islam.
Yes.
So you would be called a renegade European, but in actuality, you just got skull fucked into Islam.
Yeah, or as I like to call you, a traitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traitor,
one thing, take my body, you're not taking my soul.
No way.
Yeah. So
my soul ain't eating hummus.
Yeah. So the Ottoman Empire was a long time. We're talking about like 1299 to 1922.
So that's what is mind-blowing to me is like we talk about these empires that are now in these modern times kind of only, they're in antiquity. Nobody thinks about them. But if you were alive for 600 years, it's like right now if you're alive, you live in America, and then 500 years ago, people are like, remember when America was a thing?
Exactly.
Like that's
crazy.
how wild it is.
It's crazy to think. We haven't even been around that long.
No, nobody ever is.
And during that whole time, they used slavery across religious, ethnic, and geographic lines. It was a big part of their empire, and but it was illegal to enslave another Muslim. So obviously, they loved enslaving Christians, and this was their era where they had the upper hand, and they took people from Asia, Africa, Europe, for domestic labor, sexual slavery in their harems, agriculture and urban labor, and military and in administrative services. It was a whole system they had.
Right.
They raided the Balkans, Greece, Serbia, Bulgaria, Albania, Bosnians, everyone were frequent targets of Ottoman reigns, wars, forced tribute. Entire Christian villages were sometimes enslaved for after rebellions or during military campaigns. In fact, there is many instances where they raided these vulnerable like coastal towns in Europe, like all the way up to Iceland, and they wiped out the entire town.
Right.
So they killed or took as slaves the entire town.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Got on a ship. And it wasn't a nice sail.
Now,
you weren't on the Royal Caribbean.
You weren't not on the Royal Caribbean. You were on the poop cruise.
You were.
Yeah. So, because here's another thing too is what you said too, paying tribute. So what Yannis means is this was not like a group of thugs it was technically, but I'm saying this was state sponsored. So these North African countries, the Barbary Coast, got together. A humongous part of their economy was these tributes, which was just them saying, for you to come in here, you have to give us money. If you don't give us money, we're going to ride alongside your ship, and we're going to take you in, and we're going to either kill you, make you become part of our empire, or just hold you as ransom, and then the number's going to go up. So this wasn't just a group of, like right now you say Somalian pirates, but that's not the nation of Somalia. It's in these days. It was the nation. It was the nation of Libya and Algiers and Morocco. It was their nation's economy to say, we are pirates. That's what we do. Like how Gloucester, Massachusetts got fishermen, Algiers got pirates.
Yeah, Ethiopians got long distance runners.
Yeah.
And the North African coast got pirates. They're just good at it. They were doing it a long time.
And these countries, by the way, especially a country like England, they willingly paid these tributes. It actually made sense for England because if England wanted to knock out their, the other superpowers, they want to knock out their competitors, what they would do is actually go to the Barbary Coast and say, hey, we'll give you guys more money.
Yeah.
We'll give you more money so to piss off France and Spain and all these other nations. And then they would say, we can keep giving you more and more money. So you kind of roll, you let our ships go in all day. And if France doesn't want to pay, steal their stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you can cripple their economy, that'd be great for us.
Yeah. The Ottoman Empire was the empire before us, America. We had chattel slavery. They had slavery just the same, and we
had slavery on land. They had it on the sea.
They had it on the sea, but they also had it on land.
But they had sea slaves.
They had sea slaves for sure.
Yeah.
They had a whole system called the Dev-Shirmi system, which was translated to a blood tax that was instituted around the 14th century. So they had it for a long time, where Christian boys ages 8 to 18 were forcibly taken from their families in the Balkans.
And I would imagine that the boys who were taken were 8 to 18 years old. I imagine they were all pretty hot.
They were pretty hot.
I don't think they took any fat, ugly ones.
No, I don't think they did.
Because we're talking about Christian slavery, so we're talking about boys and butts.
Yeah, they enslaved Christians. They turned them into janissaries, which means they would brainwash them, take them from their families, and turn them into elite infantry units in the military for the Ottomans.
Right, so right now we just call that Democrat.
Yeah, that's right. And they
brainwashed kid, take it from your family, and now you're trans.
And some of these janissaries actually rose to high ranks, even grand viziers, but they were slaves in origin, but often not. Often you were just taking care of a house or you were getting your butthole plunged.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
But it was state-run social engineering and slavery that converted people to Islam and kept control and a hierarchy from the Muslims at the top, the Christians at the bottom.
Yeah, because you have to understand, it was very important for nations. You could not neglect the North African coast and the southern Mediterranean Sea. That was a big part of commerce, getting good salt, spice, and all that. So they had to go through these countries. There was not a way around. And this is where it gets interesting, because here's the thing. We obviously United States fights a war for independence, 1776, ends roughly 1783. We get our independence. Boom, now we're a country. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that you lose. You lost the protection of the British. So the British were able to protect you very specifically from the Barbary Coast in North Africa. When you had the British's protection, when you were just a colonist, no problema. The British paid us for you, baby girl. But now you don't got your daddy no more.
Yeah.
Now Britain is gone. So now you, little United States that doesn't even have a U.S. Navy that barely has any money, you got to pay us money if you want to come into Algiers.
Yeah, because the British Navy was strong, and now we don't have that. We don't even have a Navy.
No.
But we still want to do business.
But I still like to make you an offer, Mr. Muhammad.
So we kept throwing our ships out there, trying to go through there, and they would just pick us off.
Yeah.
They would pick us off and enslave us and force us to pay the tribute, because that's how their economy worked. They were fucking criminals.
And do you want to know about what the tribute really was? So initially, the United States, which, the booming United States, we just got our freedom, they had no choice but to pay the tribute. So initially, 1784, 1785, they're paying the Tripoli pirates and all that the money. They said the U.S. would pay the Barbary states, including Tripoli, modern-day Libya, about 20% of the entire federal budget in ransom. So do you understand, a tribute to stop them from capturing American merchant ships? That would be the same thing as if the U.S., if 20% of their federal budget at the time, you adjust that for inflation today, that would be as if the United States were giving pirates $1 trillion a year to leave us alone.
It's a lot of money. Yeah, so it was like all the European countries were paying it to some extent. They just had the power. They could pick you off.
Right.
They were good at it. And then so we had Jefferson and Adams were our first two presidents.
They were not our first two presidents.
Washington.
Washington.
That's what I meant. Washington and Adams.
And then John Adams was the second, and then Jefferson was the third, and then John Quincy Adams was the fourth, and then James Madison was the fifth. I have what's called autism.
You do have autism, and I forgot your home warming gift today. I got you a home warming gift.
Keep forgetting it.
I forgot it again.
You're forgetting again.
And that just reminded me of what it is. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I got you a housewarming
gift. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Is it
It's a court order that says you can live here.
Yeah. Thank you. That's what I needed.
No, you're going to love the gift.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So, Washington and Adams, the first two presidents, just kind of dealt with it, paid the ransoms, tried to negotiate treaties, whatever. They didn't do much about it. We didn't even have a Navy yet.
We did not. That's the thing. We did not. You think back to the United States, you think, boom, we all became the superpower that we are. No, baby. We didn't even have a Navy when we first became a country. We didn't have a Navy.
No, we were just we were trying to find out who we were.
Yeah.
We're like, who am I as a country?
Right.
And this helped us figure it out, because these two wars we're about to tell you were actually the first two foreign wars that we fought as a country.
Absolutely.
And we found that we're good at this.
Yeah, well, we did fight a couple other foreign wars when we fought with the Native Americans, and the Native Americans like, we lived here first, and I would say, no, you're a foreigner. Even though I took your name.
Yeah, those, depending on how you look at that.
Depending on how you look at it, but yeah.
Yeah, so these two military conflicts ended up being between the United States and the Barbary states. And actually, because Adams and Washington did not fight this and just paid the tributes, the people were like, you know what? Why don't we spend the money that we're using to pay these tributes to get our captives back or whatever? Why don't we use this money to build a Navy to go fight them? And Jefferson campaigned on that, and that was part of the reason he got elected.
That is why.
So he was Donnie Trump saying, I'm closing the border, and they elected him on it, and he gave him a mandate. Jefferson had a mandate to go clean out the Barbary Coast.
To clean out the Barbary Coast, and then that's the thing, is when Thomas Jefferson stepped up and acted like Trump, the same thing always happens. Thomas Jefferson steps up and says, this is what we're campaigning on. We're going to stop the piracy. And then there's always a counterbalance. So just like Jefferson stepped up, Trump steps up, what always happens? The Muslims start screaming, "Welcome, Mamdani."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jefferson gets this mandate. He goes over to clean out the Barbary Coast and to fight them. And then all of a sudden, people start going, wait a second. Why are we fighting the Jews' wars?
Yeah.
These are the Jews' enemies.
Yeah.
And then we realized that Jefferson also was on the Epstein list.
It's just what it is.
That's how it went.
PJ. So what actually happened, Yanni's right. Washington and Adams just deal with it. They said, we don't even have the money. We barely have boats. We don't know what the hell we're doing. Just pay these Libyan fucks.
Yeah.
So what Jefferson, though, in 1801, the Pasha of Tripoli, which is like the king, the prime minister of Tripoli, Yusuf Khan Manali was his name, he demanded an increase in tribute from the United States. So, and then Jefferson says, hold on, wait a second.
I'm the great negotiator. I wrote the art of the deal. That's not how we're doing it.
Yeah, Trump wrote the art of the deal. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. They're both authors to me. So, yeah. So what Jefferson says is, hold on, Pasha Yusuf from Tripoli. I got people like you that work on my farms.
Waste on
I'm
cheating.
giving you any more money, okay? The women that you got, I have babies with them. So her name's Sally. So Thomas Jefferson says, absolutely not. We're not giving you any more money. And then Tripoli says, okay, well then if you come in here, baby girl, guess what? You're gonna have problems with us. So in response to that, Tripoli, so Libya, the Barbary Coast, declares war on us, on the United States on May 14th, 1801. They say now we're fighting.
And guess what? They did it with the blessing of the British because the British were like, fuck you. Do it. Yeah, weaken them. We hate them. We just lost the war to them. So
Right.
British were all in cahoots with them, those fucking turncoats.
Right.
So he sent in 1801, Jefferson then sends a naval squadron to the Mediterranean, and in 1803, the USS Philadelphia is captured and the crew imprisoned. So at first it didn't go so good.
At first it didn't go so well. And just real quick, I just want to say in 1794, the Naval Act of 1794, this is the first time that the United States puts a budget towards making and creating a U.S. Navy, and they did it in response to these pirates. So the U.S. Navy actually goes into its first battle, as Yanni said, in 1801, they actually make a naval blockade. The United States Navy, first time in action, makes a naval blockade to blockade Tripoli. They sent a small thing and they were blocking Tripoli, saying, you guys can't get out. And these naval skirmishes started to occur, but it was 1794 when the U.S. Navy was even created. So it's wild because if there was no pirates, there'd be no Navy.
Maybe we wouldn't have Navy. See, sometimes bad things create good things.
Yeah.
And sometimes wars are good. I mean, what do you want us to do? Just let them keep enslaving us and getting ransom payments? No, you don't negotiate with terrorists.
And that's the thing. And thank God for pirates, because if we didn't have any pirates, then we'd have no Navy, and then we'd have nowhere for the gay men in our military to go.
And they need a place to serve.
What it is, and they serve it on the Navy. Hello, Mr. Coxman.
Yeah, so the USS Philadelphia gets captured, but instead of letting them... They thought this is too big of a prize. It's a big ship that costs a lot of money.
Right.
We don't want them to get it. We don't want it to fall in their hands.
Right.
So we have a guy named Lieutenant Stephen Decatur.
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 I grew up 2 blocks away from Decatur Street in Ridgewood.
Yeah, so it was named after him probably.
It was.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do. We name streets and our towns after American heroes.
Yeah, I grew up on Schwarzkopf Boulevard.
Yeah.
And remember they used to have the Iraq War trading cards?
Yeah.
That was good times. What was his name? Norman Schwarzkopf?
Norman Schwarzkopf.
Storm and Norman?
Storm and Norman.
Yeah, so he decides in a daring raid to burn the Philadelphia, the ship.
The USS Philadelphia.
USS Philadelphia, to keep it from falling into pirates' hands. And this was hailed as a heroic naval action of the time.
And the USS Philadelphia actually was captured relatively quickly because it was only shooting batteries out of its ship.
And then in 1805, U.S. Marines and mercenaries from the area, some of which were Greek, because we were like, this is our chance to get back at these muzzies.
Yeah.
March 500 miles overland from Egypt to attack Derna, Libya, because what they found out is that the Pasha took control from his brother. they had like a civil war and he won control. So what we did was teamed up with the brother,
Right.
hired some mercenaries from there and used them and invaded by land.
Smart.
Yeah,
Very smart.
We know that our enemy is your enemy is now our ally.
That's what it is. So this is 1805. This is the beginning of what is called the First Barbary War, and it was the first U.S. military victory on foreign soil. And the reason in that Marine Corps
because we
song,
made some shawarma.
yeah, when they go, yeah, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, this is what they're talking about, the First Barbary War, and they were making some shawarma.
We made some shawarma, and we forced them to sign a treaty in 1805, where the U.S. said, okay, we're going to pay a final ransom that releases our captives, our sailors, but from here on in, no more money.
That's it.
No more money.
No.
We're not getting ripped off anymore.
We paid $60,000 for the release of the prisoners, less than all the other previous tributes, and they said no more payments are required. No more payment tributes. The Barbary Coast said, you don't got to give us no more money. And it was our first demonstration of what U.S. military power can do, strengthen the reputation of the U.S. Navy and the Marine Corps. And we actually, it helped us because we noticed our Navy's a little weak.
Yeah, keep betting against the USA. See how that goes.
See how that goes.
See how that
okay?
goes for you.
See how that goes, Babas.
Yeah, see how that goes because we're putting you in the water and we're boiling you.
Yeah, and
like a fucking lobster alive.
That's what it is.
Yeah, we didn't put them in a microwave. We put them in a boiler.
In a boiler. And one of the first Navy heroes of all time before the Admiral David Robinson is in 1804, the pirates forced Tripoli. When we talked about the USS Philadelphia, Yannis quickly mentioned Stephen Decatur, street that is in Ridgewood, Queens. Stephen Decatur, what he did is he disguised himself. This guy was like a Navy SEAL before these were even a thing. Disguised himself, and he snuck into Tripoli's harbor at night with a team of commandos, and they set the ship on fire. The kid dressed up like a fisherman. He looked just like a guy from Algiers. He just looked like a muzzy fisherman. Gets on the USS Philadelphia and burned it down in front of the Ottoman Empire capturers. He burned it down in front of them, and then British Admiral Nelson called it the most bold and daring act of the age. So Stephen Decatur was a star. The kid was bold. He was daring. He spoke up and spoke the truth when no one else would, just like Elon Musk.
Yeah, just like the Liver King says, good and true.
Yeah.
He was good and true. Yeah, he was good and true. But then, of course, they don't learn so easily. So they try again in 1815.
They tried to win another fight. And can I just say we skipped over one thing? One thing that the Tripoli did, the Pasha of Tripoli did in 1801 when we don't want to pay these tribute payments anymore, you know what this fucking guy did? You know what this guy did? And this is what really got us mad. And why we said, now we're making Navy coming over, I'm going to block your thing. He went outside and he chopped down the pole that was holding up the American flag. He chopped down our flag.
You don't do that.
He chopped down our flag and then he spit on it.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're going to come hurt you now.
We're going to come hurt you. So they try again. So they figured, the United States is bogged down in the War of 1812 with the British.
Which, by the way, the War of 1812 with the British, a lot of people we don't learn about that much because technically we didn't beat the British, but it was a tie. The British didn't win either. And so what? Good for you. You got to keep Canada. We don't want it anyway.
Yeah. It lasted 3 years. So at that time, the pirates started resuming their attacks because they thought we were weakened and vulnerable. And so they started doing it again. And Algiers steps up to the plate, and they become the worst defender of this, and they start doing it. But we had another guy in office at this time, James Madison.
James Madison, who was the 5th president, who also, there's another street in Ridgewood called Madison
And
Street.
my father went to Madison High School and played football there.
It's what it is, cuz.
So he sent another powerful fleet led by Stephen Decatur again.
Yeah.
And William Bainbridge, a couple of American boys. He sent the boys over there, and they captured key Algerian ships, and they forced Algiers, Tunis, and Tripoli to sign new peace treaties. Take the deal or we're making more shawarma.
They literally put a treaty out and then they put their dick on it and they said, talk to my dick.
They basically went over there with a fucking meat spin stick that you see at the Euro place and said, sign this or you're going on the stick.
And that's what I like about James Madison because he was the president that was all about manifest destiny. And that motherfucker said manifest destiny. We own the whole world.
Yeah, so all the Barbary states therein ceased piracy. They freed all the American captives and they stopped demanding tribute. And the U.S. would never again pay tribute to a foreign power. Never again.
And
that was our never again.
Never again. And that's why they have this still to this day lasting peace treaty with Morocco, because that's why it's the longest peace treaty in American history, because Morocco still don't mess with this.
Morocco, they bend the knee early. They bend the knee before all the other ones.
Right.
But this is where the U.S. Navy's reputation as a global force started. We gained confidence. The Marine Corps gained national prestige. The people were celebrating this. And it proved that the United States as a new nation, right, could defend its interests abroad. And boy, did we keep doing that.
We kept doing that, and that's why, too, what we also did is we showed the other countries, the United States showed the other countries that you don't have to pay for this barbarism either. You don't have to pay this tribute to them. We did it. You could do it. And then we really collapsed this North African pirate economy because
these evildoers,
because after that, about the 1830s, 1840s, that was all gone.
Yeah.
And now look at Algeria now.
Yeah. And the Europeans got confident over this, said, oh, wow, we don't have to do this. We could do that. We could just fight back. And then, it culminated in France's invasion of Algiers in 1830, and they just took it over.
Right.
So then they took it over. So a lot of people, they don't know the context sometimes. They go, oh, look, the French colonized Algiers, where if you ask me, they gave Algiers what they deserved.
It's what it is. And now, right after this quick break, we're going to talk to you about all the white slaves they had.
You have life insurance?
Well, that's the thing. I want to tell you, because you and I both have daughters. And so what we need when you have a family, we need to think about life insurance. I know we're young kids, but we're also getting older as kids, and you just need life insurance. And I use Select Quote. Select Quote is awesome because for me, you know me, I got high blood pressure, I got pre-diabetes.
You're close.
I'm close. And I probably got early stage heart disease, but Quote, they matched me up with partners that had policies that were designed for my many pre-existing health conditions, so I got the protection that I feel like I deserve.
I'm going to use Select Quote.
You seriously should. You don't need a medical exam either. No medical exam. No, they partner with providers. They offer the same day coverage up to $2 million. You don't even have to go to the doctor. I didn't have to go to Dr. Lukash.
Yeah, this is unlike other one-size-fit-all life insurance companies. They use licensed agents that work for you. In as little as 15 minutes, they'll compare policies from top-rated carriers to find you the best fit for your health and your budget, and they work for you for free. Head to selectquote.com and a licensed insurance agent will call you right away with the right policy for your life and your budget. Life insurance is never cheaper than it is today. Select Quote. They shop, you save.
Guys, get the right life insurance for you for less and save more than 50% at selectquote.com/hyenas. Save more than 50% on term life insurance at selectquote.com/hyenas today to get started. That's selectquote.com/hyenas, HYENAS. Go do it. Let me ask you a question, cuz. Because we've been drinking, we've been going out since we got back together. We've just been having a few brews.
Yeah.
And we've been drinking and we've been waking up hungover, calories, and we've said, how can we get like a little bit of a buzz without the calories? And then you told me about Sol.
That's what I did.
That's what you said. You said, brother, let me talk to you about Sol.
And that's exactly how I did it. I said, Sol is a wellness brand that believes feeling good, you know what I mean? Should be easy and fun, you hurt?
Yeah.
Sol specializes in delicious hemp-derived THC and CBD products designed to boost your mood and help you unwind. Yeah. Their best-selling out-of-office gummies were designed to provide a mild, relaxing buzz, boost your mood, and enhance creativity and relaxation.
Yeah, I just ripped a fart, and that's what I call a soul fart.
That's what it is.
Does it relax me to the point where I just start passing gas, baby girl?
Yeah.
Plus, what I like about Sol, they have so many other amazing wellness products with or without THC. So if you're going to say, I'm a guy, I don't do THC, I'm going to say, well, Sol has a variety of gummies and capsules that can improve sleep, stress, pain, focus, bloating, and more, because a lot of you are just bloated fuckers.
Yeah, they also have an out-of-office beverage, a refreshing alcohol-free alternative for perfect summer sipping. They sent us some. It is delicious.
It's delishy-wishy.
Yeah, so they got a lot of stuff. So what you got to do is bring on the good vibes and treat yourself to Sol today. Right now, Sol is offering our audience 30% off your entire order. That's a lot. Go to GetSol.com. GetSol, GetSoul.com. Use the code HistoryHyenas, all one word. That's GetSol.com. Promo code HistoryHyenas for your 30% off. Let me just start this segment by saying one of the slogans that came out of this was millions for defense, but not 1 cent for tribute.
Right.
We don't negotiate with terrorists. We don't.
$0. So
yeah,
fine.
and so and like I said, now we're going to talk about the Ottoman slave trade.
So the Ottoman slave trade. Okay, so first of all, what they would do, their slavery, as Yannis was saying, a lot of it was whatever ships they captured, like how a shark will eat anything. You'll find a license plate in there. You'll find some fish. You'll find a human hand. That's what the North African Barbary states were like. Whoever we catch is a slave. Yeah. Doesn't matter if you're white. That's the one thing I do respect about them. They did not discriminate amongst their slaves, and that's good.
Yeah, they were
not racist.
They took a diverse array of slaves,
which is nice.
Which makes the slavery less bad. As long as it's not racist, slavery's okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So what they did is a lot of these European ships that they took, they enslaved the sailors. So you had hundreds to maybe thousands of white Christians over the 200, 300 years of slavery that were full slaves. Some of these guys got taken into slavery as little as 10 years old and were slaves till they died at 80.
Yeah, most of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, most of them were. They took...
Could you imagine being a white slave dying and going...
Way song she ain't.
Ladder 14. Something got wrong in the Matrix. Yeah, you're like, wait, this isn't...
Something got wrong in the creators of the Matrix, too. Did you see them? Those guys are girls now.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Two brothers. The two guys who wrote the Matrix or directed, or who are they?
Well, some people say they stole the script.
They were the Menendez brothers, and now they are the Menendez sisters.
It's what it is.
Yeah, they actually did our episode and turned into the sisters.
See, that's what I respect. I think the Wachowski brothers...
They both went trans.
I respect it because we just did a bit calling ourselves the Menendez sisters, but they became the Menendez sisters.
They did.
I like that. That's commitment.
They did.
Yeah.
So,
and they were also, by the way, what do you think if you're a white guy, you're a European, you're a white pirate, you're a white sailor, you get captured, now you're a slave, and they tell you, okay, you're a slave now, and they say, all right, I can handle that, but then they say you also have to convert to Islam.
Yeah.
Then what do you do?
Me personally,
yeah,
I convert to Islam. And just enjoy the amenities.
The amenities, meaning like the women don't.
Yeah, I mean 72 versions.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the hadiths. You get 70 versions, 72. You get the law works in your favor pretty good.
It does, yeah.
If you're a Muslim man at that time, the law works in your favor.
Well, here's the thing.
Talk about white privilege. At that time, it was like really there was no white privilege. If you were white, it was no good.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing I have to say about Islam and being Muslim is one of those things where it's like I understand the complexities of the religion. I understand how certain people could think Sharia law is not fun, but those people are women.
Right.
I'm a guy.
Right.
So Sharia law is kind of
it's kind of nice to have just a little quiet.
Just a little quiet. And then if the garlic isn't sliced enough, you get what we call
get a little talking to.
You get a little talk to, and we are spoken to. Obviously, I know we're joking, but this is one of these things where we are joking, but that is a real thing that we don't do.
Yeah, like if you're not getting blowjobs on the regular, you just go, this one's...
That's what it is.
And then you get a new one who knows what the rules are.
That's all.
One that operates more the way it was advertised to operate. So they would take... the frequent sources for their white slaves were from Greeks, Serbs, Bulgarians, Albanians, Bosnians, like I said, the Caucasus, Georgians, Circassians, Armenians, supplied them with their white slaves for harems and elite households. And like I told you, the Circassian women were especially prized for their beauty and were often sold into they had a Herum System. So you just went into the harem.
What is Circassia, modern day?
Circassium, they don't really exist anymore. They're around.
It's by Russia, you said?
Circassia, yeah. And the Russians discriminated and brutalized them too.
Yeah, and the Armenian...
blonde chick.
Hottie blondes. And then the Armenians all had fake butts.
Yeah, they just all went into the Herum System.
Yeah.
Which was part of, their system was, sex slavery. You're just in the harem.
By the way, white slavery in the Barbary world between the 1500s and early 1800s, I misspoke. It was captured that it was thought to 1 to 1.5 million Europeans were captured and sold into slavery and enslaved by the Barbary
Some people
pirates.
think maybe sometimes even more. Now, for the Janissaries, like I said, it was always Christian boys from the Balkans. The eunuchs, they liked the Africans for the eunuchs, and they took some from the Caucasus. So you had Russian type people, got their nuts sliced out, and Africans got their nuts sliced out.
But again, we said with the Africans, not a big deal because the penis was so big.
Exactly. And then for the harem concubines, Circassians, Greeks, Georgians, they like those.
Georgian women are beautiful too.
Domestic slaves, everybody. That was for the table.
Domestic slave?
Yeah, so if you were just working in the house or whatever, they took whatever.
Like if you're like a woman just who lives in Algiers.
Or a dude, yeah.
Or a dude.
For domestic slavery, meaning like in the house.
Oh, okay.
You're my slave in the house.
Got it. House slave.
Yeah. And then for agriculture and ermine labor, they took Christian and African slaves. And then galley slaves, the pirates would take, and that was very brutal. That was when they would chain you to the boat and you just have to row. And that was Europeans, and that was via these pirates that we're talking about that would do that. So this slavery lasted from the 1300s to the 1800s. And a lot of people say it went on until technically persisted till like the early 1900s,
right?
Especially in some of the outer provinces of the Ottoman Empire.
Well, one of the other things they say too is like some historians argue that one of the main reasons why we today, like you sit in the United States in 2025, why we have we're always in everybody's business, we always feel like, oh, we're the country that's to take care of the whole world. These Barbary Wars was a first step towards that because we went over there and kind of changed the whole scope. This was such a big part of the economy that the United States won a war to change. So the earliest American efforts, a lot of people think like how we protect citizens abroad and how we, assert sovereignty amongst all nations. It all started with these Barbary Wars.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. Barbary Walters.
Yeah, Barbary Wars, the Barbary Walters. Yeah, and it's also interesting to think about, like, before the slavery in America, that, this was just what empires and power did.
Right.
It was just a massive part. Slavery was just a massive, if not the most massive part of your economy that made your economy run.
I mean, yeah.
Free labor.
Yeah.
Because when people got in control, they're like, hey, we don't want to work anymore.
Right.
So let's get people to work for us.
That's all it is.
Yeah. And so it was just a part of their systems. And what do you want when you're in charge? You want pussy.
Right.
You want things done for you.
Right.
So, and so that's what you do.
And listen, here's the thing. Slavery is around in any human beings. As long as there's mass numbers of human beings, there will always be some sort of slavery. Of course, actually having your full body enslaved is the most brutal. Cannot argue that. But right now, I guarantee you the people 200 years from now are going to say that we were enslaved by our phones and technology.
Yeah.
So it is just who's the master.
Yeah.
Back in these times, another human being was the slave master, and that was awful and a much, much more brutal way to live. But make absolutely no mistake, baby gorgeous, you are a slave to technology right now, and the people from the future will see that.
Yeah. So you can look at your phone and call it a pashka.
That's what I do. Yeah. Here's the thing. Some of the guys I know in my life are hungry for whole. I'm hungry for root. Hungry root. Hungry root is like having your own personal shopper, which is interesting because if you typically Hungry Root, if you have a personal shopper who's a guy, typically they're hungry for whole.
Yeah.
So a fun name for this company would have been Hungry Whole.
Yeah, but it's Hungry Root.
It's Hungry Root.
Yeah.
And it's like you're having your own personal shopper. They take care of your weekly grocery shopping, recommending healthy groceries tailored to your taste, nutrition, preferences, and health goals. So this is yet one of these companies that Yanni and I found that they just, because what we're always looking for is we're trying to eat healthy, eat clean, and we don't want our wives to always have to cook. We want to be able to help out around the house because we just sit around and talk shit all day while our wives take care of our children. So how can we help? And we found this company, Hungry Root, because it offers options for the whole family with healthy groceries like smoothies, kids snacks, sweets, ready-to-eat meals, salad kits, and even supplements that we could just make 1, 2, 3, no problema for the wife and the kids.
Yeah, just tell them about your goals and preferences, and they'll fill your cart for you with personalized recommendations that get smarter as they learn more about what you liked or didn't love. This is great. No high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, or preservatives of any of Hungry Root's food. The only source, top quality meat and seafood, free of hormones and antibiotics. That's very nice. So you're going to love Hungry Root as much as we do. We promise you. So take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Wow.
That's crazy. That's
Crazy.
a crazy deal.
Yeah.
They're going to give you a free item in every box you get from Hungry Root for the rest of your life.
That is
And you're
great.
going to be living longer because Hungry Root got healthy foods.
Yeah, so right now, go to hungryroot.com/hyenas and use the code hyenas. That's hungryroot.com/hyenas, code hyenas to get 40% off your first box. That's a hell of a way to welcome you in the door. And a free item of your choice for life, like we said. So hungryroot.com/hyenas, code hyenas. There were a few exceptions, and
Tell
some
us
of the most
exceptions to the rule.
powerful men and women in the Ottoman Empire rose from slavery to become people, but these are exceptions. There's not a lot. So you had this guy, Sokollu Mehmed Pasha.
Okay.
He was a grand vizier, which is a prime minister under 3 sultans, and he was Serbian, and he was taken via Devshirma. So he was taken from his family and converted and whatever. And then you had Roxolana, whose name was Herum Sultan, who was a Ukrainian concubine, who she was a whore from the Ukraine. She was taken for sex slavery, and she ended up becoming the wife of Sultan Suleiman and wielded vast power. So he fell in love with that puss, and he turned her into somebody.
That's the thing, cuz nothing's fought, I think, in human history. The two things are puss and salt.
Yes.
That's what everybody fights over.
And then we had Kosum Sultan, who was a Greek concubine who ruled as a regent and power broker. So there was a few.
I like the word concubine.
Concubine.
I want to start bringing back because what does concubine mean? Like is concubine like a slave owner? What is a concubine?
No, a concubine basically is a whore, right?
Jesse wrote concubine.
Yeah, it's a
A concubine
a
is
woman who lives with a man in a sexual relationship but is not legally his wife.
So Jasmine's a concubine.
A woman.
So your girlfriend, before your wife was your wife and she was your girlfriend, she was your concubine.
Well, no, because it
Right?
depends. A concubine, the historical definition of a concubine is a woman who is a lower status in a sexual relationship. So it's basically, she's not there because she loves it.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it just meant if you're having sex with a woman who you're not married to, that's your concubine.
No.
That'd be funny if I started introducing my girlfriend as my concubine.
my concubine.
And I said, no, this is the definition of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, it's a man with power or wealth who has a household or a palace. So he has multiple wives and partners, and his concubines would be in his harem. So it's you know how rich guys have cars?
Yeah.
They got like loads of cars, and they go, I'm taking out the GX80 or whatever
Yeah.
today, or I'm taking out the BMW, or I'm taking out my Cybertruck today. Basically, they'd go to the harem and say, which one do I feel like banging out today?
So in other words, how we have to today in modern
Sounds fucking good.
God, it's interesting how they had literally harems of sex slaves, and that's what they would call loopholes.
Yeah.
So we get, and they have full castles of sex slaves.
Yeah,
that were hot.
and they weren't loopholes because that was the law.
Yeah,
So it was the norm.
yeah,
So their loophole would be to not do it.
yeah.
Yeah. It would be the opposite. If they saw a guy who didn't do it, it'd be like, you found a loophole to be somewhat decent.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
So the concubines would entertain, serve, please the Sultan, whatever they wanted.
Right.
And
I gotta be honest with you.
yeah.
I gotta be honest with you. It's kind of nice to think about. I know that there's a lot of problems with that. I get it, but it's kind of nice just to like not be under pressure to always be making the right move. We're in like a surveillance state here. Everybody knows everything about you. You make one man mistake, there's evidence of it forever. It would have been nice to just be in the Ottoman Empire in the 1600s and have a couple of concubines.
It would be nice to be a
Yeah.
Muslim guy in the Ottoman Empire.
Being a Muslim guy, if you're gonna be Muz,
Yeah.
being Muz in the Ottoman Empire is glory.
Yeah, it really is. It really is glory, and I just love the way they were smart, but they were brutal. They were
Right.
brutal but smart. Like this Janissary system was kind of smart, right? So you don't want to die in war,
Right.
like where if you're in control and everything's good and you're a Muslim dude, you don't want to die. So what you do is you take young Balkan men from
Right.
age 8 to 18, but they probably got them like around 8 or younger.
Right.
You just take them from their families and you force convert them to Islam, and then you train them in war, discipline, and loyalty to the Sultan alone. So that's all they know.
Right.
And you turn them into these Manchurian candidates that fight for you.
Yeah.
So that's just right there, all your evidence that all your issues and problems come from your childhood, and what you know is from your childhood, because these people would actually go and fight for the Sultan. The guy who actually fucking kidnapped them and took them away from their parents, he turned them. And so it's just how you can turn anyone's reality and mold anyone's reality the way you want.
This is my problem with culture wars. And when people talk about their culture, whatever your culture is today, there's a 99.9% chance it was raped into your great-great-great-great-great-grandmothers and grandfathers by whatever person conquered your land. So whatever your culture is an amalgamation of a bunch of other cultures. So that's why there is no culture. It's just being a human.
Yeah.
So you can put your hair whatever way you want to put your hair.
Yeah.
Because the people that are saying that's the way my hair is and you're stealing my culture idea, it's like, I don't know, bitch. Maybe my grandfather was the Sultan who raped your grandmother 500 years ago, and really, you're stealing my hair.
Everybody's got a grape gene.
That's what it is.
Everyone's taking a little sip of grape juice.
Everybody's Ancestry.com should say Welch's.
Yeah. But it's kind of ingenious when you think about it, because they would actually train these Janissaries. They isolated them. It's kind of what cults do, right? So they isolate them. They were not allowed to marry, own property, or have outside contracts. And they were better fed, trained, and paid than most soldiers. So they were treated real well. So although they were being abused and brainwashed, they felt like they were great because they were trained to be the elite soldiers, and they were fed well, and they were idolized for being such good soldiers. So they felt like the shit. So they forgot about their mom and their dad, and they were like, we get good. We're the Sultan treats us good.
That's all it is.
So we'll go die for the Sultan. So so they were brutalized when they were young. But they that's how they broke them.
Yeah.
And they turned them into vicious soldiers for the Sultan.
So there you go. You could tell everyone how you know now how the U.S. Navy started. You know why they say the shores of Tripoli, and that, yes, there were white slaves.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
There was millions of them.
Millions of them.
And it was brutal.
And it was magoot.
And it was brutal.
Magoots. And when someone asks you a question, who does the United States have the longest standing peace treaty with, you're going to know the answer.
That's right.
And it's Morocco.
Yeah, it's a time where we're telling you about the time where America became the force for good.
Yeah, and that we're still here and we're still the good guys, folks. As always, at the we like to end off every episode. Patreon.com/HistoryHyenas. We love the newest members of the matriarchy. We got a lot of great bonus content up there. You get early access to all the episodes where all the fun happens, where nothing's cackled out except for some of the stuff I said last week. We know that some of you guys are mad about that. We won't let it happen again. But we like on these live shows, we love when the audience gets involved and helps us pick who the winner is, as we call the pseudo penis of the week. So here we go. Here are the names. These are the newest members of the matriarchy. We'll get through as many as we can. We only got a few minutes here. But starting off, we got TJ Schlarschlitt. Okay. Then we got my truck has an Eastern Hemi. Call it a Dodge Ram. Eastern Hemi is a Chinese person. No?
Wait, I don't know if they got that. Did you get it? You know what a Dodge, he's struggling with the R and the L's, so he called it a Dodge Lam instead of a Dodge Ram. Drexler, yeah. Drexler.
Okay, then we have Thatcher Helton. That sounds like a white man.
Yeah.
And then we got So Deep in the Closet, they call me Anne Frank.
You can't go. This is a democracy. You can't. Yeah, it's got to go on the list.
Catapult it on.
That's got to be a catapult.
On the list.
That's a catapult.
That's on the list. That's the first one on the list. They're in contention.
You guys decide. I didn't do that. You did it.
Then we got Robbie Howe. Then we got was asked to leave for saying it's actually pronounced Chinggis Khan. Was asked to leave.
Kid was probably at college, and he probably was in a history class.
He
said, "I heard on the History Hyenas that the way you call it is Chinggis Khan," and they kicked him out of school because of you. Cuz
they asked him to leave.
Yeah,
but that is the way you don't say Genghis Khan. It's Chinggis Khan. That is the Mongolian pronunciation. And if you know one thing about me, I'm fucking pro-Mongolia.
Yeah. What is that one? No. Drexler.
All right.
Drexler.
Brian Montanez, Austin Schneigsker, Dildo Baggins.
Chicken finger.
River
Chicken
Pena,
finger.
John Dreher, Weenix Montez. Then we got my cousin married a Muzzy, and now, hold on. Oh, here we go. My cousin married a Muzzy, and now her chest is ticking.
You see,
Yeah.
What happens with the live ones is their favorites are going to be the walked-into ones.
Yeah,
They're
it's just what it is. Sorry about that.
I
If we
mean, that's
offended
another
anyone.
catapult, if you ask me, to be honest with you.
Okay. Then next we got it's not gay if you pull out.
It's a good point. Drexler.
Okay. And then we got user 967-459-8414. This person just gave their phone number.
Okay.
Andrew
lonely
Fisher.
person. Yeah.
Then we got brown and proud, but don't tell ICE. Last chicken finger.
List. I guess
Chicken-
it's a list, but
All
I
right.
think it's, I think the other ones may be
right,
better,
we'll
but give him an honorary list.
Jessica Perna, Kevin Fitzsimmons, Hans Jobs. Then we got I just love flip Hans Jobs.
Wait, you missed one.
Hans Jobs.
Hand
Like
jobs.
hand jobs, Hans.
Chicken finger. Hans
Chicken
job.
finger,
That's
sorry.
great. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I thought that was just one of my German friends.
Yeah.
Hans Jobs. Then we got I just love flipping Southern Baptist. Hashtag beam me up Scotty. I don't know. All right.
Man, get it.
C-Tuck. Then we got Man Bitch Sloppy Ho. Nick Guida. Vishal Mishra. Then we got DM me for TT Jerry and Tim Dillon sex tape. Guys got some valuable info. Then we got Michael Facente. Then we got Kick Me in the Balls and Call Me by My Transgender Name. Was that you? Was that...
You got to put that on the list by the crowd reaction. You have to put it on the list.
Put on the list?
Yeah.
Okay. Jack Burnett, Taylor Harris. Then we got My Huzzy is My Cuzzy Wuzzy, which... Hold on. My Huzzy is My Cuzzy Wuzzy, which is okay because I'm a muzzy.
Wow.
Landed it nice.
Yeah, that's a list. You got to do it. Yeah, I mean, but it's also a walked into one. I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Okay. Got my cemetery science degree now.
No, Chris, you're fucking slow. You are so. It takes you a second. I mean, it just.
Now I see it.
Yeah, it's just you can't.
Sorry about that.
I mean, it's like he's
Hey,
the worst.
stop doing that, you fuck.
Yeah, you gotta stop.
No.
You're
no.
like a hockey goalie with that. It can't be a hockey goalie.
I swear to God, I don't know what it is about my brain. I don't even see it and know until Yannis reacts and starts going like this. I have no idea.
But I gotta say, you guys are getting very inventive with them. I have to say that.
Okay, here we go. When my dog is tired, I call him Yannis Pappas. That's just a cute one.
That's pretty good. Chicken finger.
Then we got Hans Gunderson. A lot of Germans today.
Yeah.
Dr. Kumsock, Arlen Halil. Then we got watching Louis C.K. stroke his glue gun, but I signed the permission slip.
Put him on the list. Yeah, that's really good. It's really good. Old habits die hard.
Chris Booth. Christine Jenkins. Then we got my 8th grade teacher was a solid 7. The Frisbees for sure did 9/11.
They got to put it on the list. The
All right,
people,
all right.
The people want it.
Then we got Harry Larry, patriarchal matriarch, M. Sampson, a girl named Corey, Josh Gowen, Donnie Baum. Then we got Zoran Baum Danihim. I don't know what
It's
that is.
kind of a walked into one, I think. Yeah.
All right. Then we got a Leroy cartoon comedy called...
Fucking Christ. Can't do that. Jesus fucking Christ.
As soon as it ended, I saw Jan. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry about
fucking
that.
Christ. What is wrong with you, dude?
Drew McDaniel, Brendan Schaub's Lost Joke Book.
Drexler. Very funny.
Zechariah Leak-Free Roof Stitchins. Okay. Seth Souza. Then this is a good one, but I think we've had it before. Yanni P's Unibrow, a.k.a. the Graza Strip.
We haven't had that.
Is that good, though?
I don't know. It's more of a Drexler, I think. Yeah. Good
Graza Strip. Okay.
Yeah.
Travis, Shaky Susan, Fixing Roof Leaks for Squeak Freaks. A Muzzy Kid Who Likes Money, a.k.a. Lebanese Scrooge.
That's a catapult right there. That is a definite catapult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Santiago de la Torre.
Yeah.
Colleen Me Out. Like clean me out, but Colleen Me Out.
Ooh.
That's over there in the corner.
Yeah, that's... That's a strong chicken finger.
Then we got my frisbee is a cowboy hat. Call me Corpus Crispy. Okay. Just found out you're supposed to use a metal coat hanger.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
Sorry about
Jesus
that.
Christ! It means it broke off in there. That's horrible. That's a walk. That is a walked into one award.
Kyle Lacer,
But
Bodie
inventive.
Bodie Hungerford. Then we got the OG finger fucking Pharaoh.
Drexler.
Freddie from Maine, not Fox News. Ministo, Joe, Leroy Ceiling Cricket, which we missed before.
Yeah.
Then we got UCF, Who Needs a Dick? Oh, wait. UCF, Who Needs a Dick to the Caboose? Or... Oh, I can't. Sometimes when you just make it one word, I can't read it. Sorry. Then we got Nancy Jew in the case of the missing frisbee. Walked in. Okay. Thomas Petrowski, $8 white sauce in my belly button.
Drexler.
CIA beam recruiter. Noah Ferrari, Tat Trot, Danny Grayville, Tim, David, Beefcake, Daddy Yank Me.
Wow. Put him on the list. Instead of Daddy Yankee, Daddy Yank Me? Sometimes I got to override the reaction. That was a goodie.
Then we got Schultz's shoe recycling and ash disposal. I don't get it. Maybe the screw.
Oh, my God. It's a walked-in one. That's a bad walked-into one. That's horrible. Jesus Christ.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, my God.
Sorry. All right. My Senegalese DoorDasher is a bridge and tunnel boy. I don't know. Chris Rubin, Tom Morrissey, Matthew Chilbeck. Put it in my dog bowl because my stink wrinkle is busy.
I don't even know what that means.
Soy sauce monkey.
Woo.
Vitamin Leroy, Jeremy Fleming. Grandpa was a frisbee, but I take the host and have a 3-inch post. I don't know what that means.
All right, it's just
All right,
got
a couple
small
more
piece.
and then we're going.
Yeah.
And then we'll pick it. Finish this off. Okay, John Cougar.
Oh my God. But it is very good, though. It's very funny, but it's a walked-into one.
Okay.
Can't do it. But very inventive.
Boom Shakalaka, Felton Kemp, Robert Santiago, Yanni Salami in Biryani Punani. Okay. Biryani? I don't get it.
I don't get it. It's a victim of a bad read, though.
Sponge Thug Square Nuts. Kev Bots for Rome, Jacob Sallow, Timmy D sucked on my ween and amp. Now I ain't gay no more.
Okay.
Black and white, half poo, half glue.
Technically,
it's
a description of, yeah.
Walter Soker, Chris Cruz, Sausage Monkey with a little smoke-sized piece. Kiefer Hernandez. Thomas, you're not catapulting my GF all the way back to Brazil. Brazil.
Brazil. He read it as Brazil.
He spelled it with an S, isn't it with a Z?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Sean Reynolds, your fat uncle, a.k.a. H. Foley's Ozempic plug.
Right.
When I drink tequilas, I end up texting to Scoutmaster Kevin. Okay?
It's a good one, but it was a victim of a bad read.
Okay. Had enough of King Louis shitting while we talk, so I told him to go to the corner, turn around, and don't wipe. Okay?
Listen, do you like that episode?
Beam me up, bitch. To Holly Hobbs. Michael Rains. Bragi Girl Doll Gutenfissen. Some of these are just my friends. Nicholas Morgan. I was promised the membership 3,000 years ago. Time to blow you up.
It's a good one, though.
Serge P. My octopus's teachers swim through fish fumes. The backstroke lifeguard. Kirshan Gupta, Sir Harrison, Mohammed Salid. Tucked it back so the frisbees can't clip me. And then Nicholas Morgan.
Okay.
So should we just do? There's one more page of names left, but should we just? Actually, no. There's two more. Let's do the list. Let's do the list. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, here we go.
No, we're getting 5 minutes. Okay, go.
Okay, let's go. Okay, here we go. So this is the list, and then we'll pick. So deep in the closet, they call me Anne Frank.
Gotta keep that around.
My cousin married a Muzzy. My cousin married a Muzzy, and now her chest is ticking.
Gotta keep him. You gotta keep both of those.
Okay.
I'm going on crowd reaction. Yeah.
Brown and proud, but don't call me Ice. No.
Drexler.
Kick me in the balls and call me by my transgender name.
Drexler.
Not enough. Yeah.
Yeah, not enough.
My huzzy is my cuzzy Wuzzy, which is okay because I'm a Muzzy.
Gotta keep it in. Keep it in.
Watching Louis C.K. stroke his glue gun, but I signed the permission slip.
Keep it in. Keep it in.
My 8th grade teacher was a solid 7. The Frisbees did 9/11.
Keep it in. Keep it in. We're gonna have a real race off here.
It's gonna get hard. Here we go.
This is a very highbrow podcast.
A Muzzy kid who likes money, aka Lebanese or Scrooge.
To me, that is a tough one to beat.
Daddy yank me.
That's another good one. Got to keep it. Wow, it's gonna be tough.
And then that's it. So
Tough.
all right, here we go. So deep in the closet they call me Anne Frank.
Drexler.
Right. Drexler. Okay.
Yeah.
My cousin married a Muzzy, and now her chest is ticking. No, Drexler.
Yeah, just got to Drexler it.
My huzzy is my cousin, which is okay because I'm a Muzzy.
Drexler. I think
Watching Louis C.K. stroke his glue gun, but I signed the permission slip.
That's still in the game. That's still in the race.
My 8th grade teacher was a solid 7. The Frisbees did 9/11.
That's still in the race.
A Muzzy kid who likes money, a.k.a. Lebanese or Scrooge.
That's it. Oh, wow, that could be it.
And Daddy yank me.
Yeah.
So
okay.
who is it?
So we got 4. Now we got to do it from those 4. Let's let them say. You guys decide with your reaction.
Okay. Daddy yank me. A Muzzy kid who likes money, a.k.a. Lebanese or Scrooge.
So Daddy yank me's out.
Watching Louis C.K. stroke his glue gun, but I signed the permission slip. No, Lebaneser. And then my 8th grade teacher was a solid 7. The Frisbees did 9/11.
It's between that one and Lebanese or Scrooge. So let's do it one more time.
The only thing I think we can do is let the Jamaican people decide.
That's it. I think that's it. I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to let you two guys decide this right now.
What do you like?
So it's either Lebanese or... We got Lebanese or Scrooge, or we have the Frisbees did 9/11 one.
I think we're going to go with Scrooge.
Scrooge is the winner.
Scrooge.
Scrooge is
You're the winner.
Give it up for the Jamaican bobsledding team, everybody.
Guys.
Give it up for the eunuch, Smart
Appreciate it.
Chrissy, and the Greek kid.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks for all the
everybody.
support.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming out.